Friends, today we're going on a trip to the world of art at the end of the 18th century to get to know a person who combined the severity of classicism and the sensitivity of Romanticism in his work. This is the story of Anne-Louis Girodet de Roussy-Trioson, an artist whose fate resembles a drama with unexpected twists and turns. In this video, you will learn about his life, his victories, and the search for his own style, and you will also see paintings that have changed French art forever. He was born in 1767 in the small town of Montargis, in the family of a notary. But early orphanhood changed his path. The boy was taken under the care of the Dr. Benoit-François Trioson, who later became both a mentor and a second father for him, and later officially adopted him. In his youth, the future artist hesitates between different directions: architecture, medicine, even a military career. But all this remained only attempts. His heart was devoted to drawing. Fate leads the young man to Paris, where he ends up in the workshop of the famous Jacques-Louis David, the leader of French Neoclassicism. It is there that Girodet's hand and gaze are formed, and very quickly he declares himself as an extremely gifted student. In 1789, he won the main dream of the young artist, Prix de Rome, the prestigious Rome Prize, for the painting Joseph recognized by his brothers. This victory opened the door for him to Italy, and at the same time, to the world of ancient ruins, Venetian colors, and limitless opportunities to find his own way. And it is here, at the end of the first stage of his life, that we see the birth of a real artist. From a boy who doubted his choice, he becomes the winner of the highest artistic award in France. Ahead of him were Rome, and those discoveries that would change his style forever and make his name known throughout Europe. Friends, please support us with likes and subscriptions for regular content, and thank you for watching us. After the triumph of 1789, when Anne-Louis Girodet won the Prix de Rome, he went to Italy, a country that was a real university for every young artist of that time. In 1790, he settled in Rome, where he spent several years, and it was this period that became a turning point in his work. Here he immerses himself in the world of ancient ruins, studies marble statues and frescoes, and also carefully observes the works of great Italian masters. At the same time, he continues to be influenced by his teacher Jacques-Louis David, whose rigor and discipline required students to have strict neoclassicism. But something else is born in the soul of Girodet, a desire for poetry, sensuality, and chiaroscuro that did not fit into David's canons. Already in 1791, he presents the painting The Sleep of Endymion now in the Louvre, which becomes a real sensation, and now it is in the Louvre. On it is a young shepherd Endymion, immersed in a sweet sleep, illuminated by the moonlight. It was a completely new sound in French art. Instead of strict heroics, gentle intimacy; instead of direct allegory, sensual beauty. It was this work that made Girodet famous and cemented his name among artists who sought their own voice outside the framework of academic rules. In Rome, he also creates other works, inspired by ancient themes and the nature of Italy. It is important to remember that it was at this time that Europe was living under the sign of revolutions. France was already raging in the Great French Revolution of 1789, 1799, and many artists had to determine their position on the new political realities. Girodet, on the other hand, chooses the path of detachment. Its art is not political. It rather looks for the eternal, harmonious, supertemporal. Thus, the 1790s became a real school of freedom for him. In Italy, he moved away from the shadow of his teacher David and discovered a new aesthetic, combining neoclassical clarity with the first glimpses of romantic sensibility. And very soon, returning to France, he will show the world canvases that will enter the history of art as one of the most daring and emotional works of the beginning of the 19th century. In 1795, Anne-Louis Girodet returns to Paris, and that is when his name becomes truly known to the general public. It begins to exhibit at the Paris Salons, the main stage of French art. His works are hotly disputed because the artist was no longer a student of David, but became an independent artist with his own style. The turning point is the painting A Flood Scene presented in 1806 at the Salon. Huge canvas depicts dramatic episode, family trying to escape flood by clinging to wreckage. The body of the mother raising the child is full of pain and majesty. The light pierces the dark waves, and the composition resembles an ancient bas-relief, but with extraordinary emotionality. The painting impressed contemporaries and brought the artist the Decennial Prize, the state award for the best work of the decade. Another masterpiece appears in 1808, The Entombment of Atala, based on the novel François de Chateaubriand. On the canvas, we see the tragic scene of the burial of a young girl, Atala. This work became a real event. The combination of literature and painting, Christian symbols, and romantic sensuality impressed the audience. She established Girodet's reputation as an artist who knew how to convey not only form, but also deep emotional meaning. In the same years, he created numerous portraits, which were valued no less than his historical canvases. Among them are portraits of members of the Bonaparte family, including the image of the young Napoleon Bonaparte as first consul. In his portraits, a combination of individuality and grandeur is always felt. The face of the model radiates character, but at the same time becomes part of a great story. Thus, in the first decades of the 19th century, Girodet turned into one of the main masters of French painting. His works combined classicist discipline and romantic emotionality, and this made them unique. And then new tests of wealth, recognition, but also a departure from active creativity awaited him. In 1815, the life of Anne-Louis Girodet changes dramatically. After the death of his guardian and adoptive father, Benoît-François Trioson, he inherits a significant fortune. This wealth gave him material independence, but at the same time distanced him from active painting. Now he takes the brush less often and is increasingly engaged in literature and illustration. He works on series of drawings for works by Virgil, Racine, Anacreon, and these graphic works show him as a subtle thinker capable of translating poetry into visual images. In 1816, he received the high distinction, title of Chevalier of the Légion d'honneur, and entered the Academy of Painting and the Institute of France. This became an official recognition of his services to French culture. However, health gradually weakened, and he hardly produced any large paintings during this period. In 1824, Girodet died in Paris, leaving behind a legacy that combined the harshness of classicism and the tenderness of Romanticism. He was buried at the Père Lachaise cemetery, next to other prominent figures in France. His work became a bridge between eras, from the discipline of David to the passionate Romanticism of the 19th century. He proved that art can be both heroic and deeply human, and that in every picture it is important not only to observe the canons, but also the power of emotion. Friends, thank you for watching this video. If you are interested in learning about the life and work of Anne-Louis Girodet de Roussy-Trioson, be sure to like, subscribe to the channel, and write in the comments which picture of it impressed you the most. Your activity is very important for the development of our channel. It helps YouTube algorithms show this video to more viewers and gives us the effort to create new interesting content. See you in the following art stories.